You are listening to Palucci Performance Podcast, and here is your host, Ray Palucci.
Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the new episode. I am your host, Ray, and today we are going to talk about human nature. Ooh, seems like a scary topic, but human nature is something beautiful because in the end of the day, what is something that can make the day more pretty? What is something that can make the planet more beautiful? Well, it's us humans, and obviously human nature is part of us. So we will talk about human nature. And to speak about human nature, it will take, I believe, many hours because there's a lot of things that conclude us, I would say. And there's a lot of things that make us humans. But I will speak for one aspect that, let's say, used to bother me before, but doesn't bother me now. So let's get to it. First, I want to start with a phrase, unos cristianos nunos cristianos, which means a Christian alone is not a Christian. And this is not to make it a religious podcast, but my point of this phrase is that Jesus has mentioned that I will be there where two people are gathered in my name. A Christian alone is not a Christian. Also, Aristotle have mentioned that us humans were a social animal. So, we need to live in a community. We love being part of a community. We love other people. So, by living in a community and interacting with other people, we also have to deal with a lot of things that make the human nature. And today, I'm going to talk for one of the things that do affect us daily. And if you're not cautious about it, you will get affected maybe in a very negative way. So, what am I trying to say here? People today try to give a lot of advices. They cannot control their emotions. They cannot control their thoughts. People like to speak, and obviously not every single one of us, but in general, I believe that people want to give advices. They want to be recognized. They want to, let's say, feel important and valued. So even if you're not asking for an advice, they will give you one. And I used to be one of those people many, many years ago. But again, here and there, I would still give advices and I'll catch myself giving advices and I will take it back. Where have I listened or where have I learned this? I've learned this on my counseling degree. As counselors, we don't give advices. We give suggestions and we can give our patients tools and ways on dealing with the problem, but they are the only person that can find solutions for themselves. Okay? So even if they do something wrong, they in the end don't have to blame you because you're no one to blame of because they made that choice. And whatever choice that be, even if it's the wrong one, everyone has to make their choices. I don't believe that we should get impacted and affected by other people's opinions. So let me tell you the story that has happened to me before that it has made me think about this more and more and more. So I have a friend and we spend a lot of time in the gym together and we also hang out here and there. So one time he was sharing me that he wants to go and live in Mexico because his origins are from Mexico. His father is from Mexico and he goes to Mexico for vacation and he seems to like it very much. So he's an American. He's been born and raised in the United States and he loves this country, but he told me that he would want to go back. He would want to go and teach in Mexico. Now, he's telling me this and I'm getting emotional. I'm start thinking about myself, right? He's talking about going back to Mexico. I'm thinking about going back to Albania. Now, I love my country and I'm very, very proud to be Albanian and I wouldn't want to change my past for anything. But I do have control of my future. And because of my story, which is that I had to stop school twice because of financial reasons, those 2 times that I had to go back in Albania for a semester and the summertime, I felt like they were the most difficult times of my life. Now, again, I wouldn't want to change these times because those were the times that actually made me who I am today. Going through those difficult moments, they literally helped me grow and become the best version of myself at the time. But when I was graduating from my undergrad, I had this fear that if I don't work hard, if I don't find a job, if I don't find something after I graduate, I probably gonna go home. And I faced this reality twice. It's not that for me was now something that I would be like dreaming or maybe it's in my nightmares. No, I actually experienced twice what it means to, let's say, quote unquote, like fail and go back. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to go back. I wanted to graduate and I wanted to also study for my master, which I did. And I wanted to find a job, which right now I have, the job of my dreams. So everything has been planned out well, but the fear of going home kept me pushing myself more and more and more. So from this friend of mine is telling me that he wants to go home, I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, like, what's wrong with you? Like, why you want to leave United States and come to Mexico? Do you know how many Mexicans are dying in the border trying to come to United States? Do you know what I've done in my life to like not go back home and try to become legal here and not break the rules? You know how difficult it is for people to come to United States? And I'm getting emotional and I'm speaking to him and he's just listening, right? And he's listening, but he's kind of like listening to me like I'm making sense. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, Ray, you're right. And I'm speaking and I'm going into the final conclusion. And in the moment that I was going to give him my final answer of telling him that you're totally wrong, I was like, wait. And he looked at me very surprisingly. I was like, can you please forget everything I just told you right now? And he's like, whoa, what you're saying? I'm like, can we please just start again the conversation? He's like, I'm not understanding. I was like, brother, just please tell me again or ask me again. Just tell me that you want to go to Mexico. And he's like, well, I guess if you're asking me, he's like, well, whatever. I'm going to ask you that. So he's like, Ray, I'm like, yeah, what's up, man? I'm thinking I want to go to Mexico and I want to go there and become a teacher and leave United States and go back and start my new life. And I was like, huh? I'm like, do you really want to do that? He's like, I actually feel like I want to do it. And I was like, good. Go and do it. If that is what you really want, just go and do it. And look at me surprisingly, because I'm just saying 2 different things in less than 5 minutes. And I can totally see his confusion. And I started laughing and I was like, brother, let me explain to you what I really meant. And he's like, please go ahead. Then I started making more sense to him because I explained to him what I explained to you guys, that in the counseling degree, I've learned to never give advice because you want people to make the best choices for themselves. And goes back to the topic of today's podcast, the human nature. It is part of our human nature to give advices because we are not giving advices to that person. We are giving advices to ourselves. When we tell people don't eat burger because burger is bad, we actually don't care about that health. We don't care about the other person, whoever that person is, even if it's your loved ones. You're saying that because you believe that is good for you. Now, it might be good, okay? And I just took an example for burger, but we can take any other examples. And might be good for you, or might be good in the general cases, but you can never compare yourself with the other people because other people have other goals. And your goals are different than other people's goals. So you cannot measure it on the same measurement place or thing between you and the other person. For you, might be good. For the other guy, it's wrong. For him, it can be right. For you, it's wrong. So giving suggestions or giving your opinion, it is important. But I believe we should never give advices. Because, first of all, we're not giving advices to them. We're giving advices to ourselves. And even if someone asks you, please, can you give me an advice on what I need to do in this area? I believe the best way for us to answer is, okay, let me think what I believe is good or what I think is good. And in that moment, I believe we should also say that this is what I think is good for me, but maybe it's not good for you. Maybe you have other ways. So speaking about this side of our human nature, it is very, very important because we get always affected by other people's opinion. We are a social animal and we live in community and we are around people and we feel that we want to be accepted from other people. We want other people's validations. We want other people's opinions. And most likely, to be honest, even when somebody gives us an advice and we do it, in the end of the day, if that doesn't work, guess what? We have somebody else to blame. We don't blame ourselves. And this is another part of human nature, and we will talk in another podcast. The fear of failure, the fear of not being accountable, and the fear of not being responsible. So, speaking for human nature, as I mentioned in the beginning, can take a long time. But today, we just spoke about an area of the human nature that, first of all, don't give advices. Also, don't ask for advices, ask for opinions. And also, when somebody asks you for advices, never give one, give an opinion, show ways, be a reasonable person, show your ideas or why you think that would be good. And if somebody is telling you something, if they're just self-advising you or giving their opinion, if you actually didn't ask for their opinion, don't take anything in consideration. Or let's put it in a better way, listens to everybody, listens to everything people wants to say to you or tell you, and then observe. And then maybe go home and write it down in the paper. Maybe I have to double check this. Maybe he wasn't or she wasn't wrong, but maybe they were totally wrong. So never, ever take somebody's words as facts. Clear your mind, spend some time alone, observe, feel, and then try to have the best answer for yourself and try to take the best action for yourself. Another story that actually just popped up in my mind is with an ex-friend of mine, which, we're not as friends right now, but that's okay. And we were hanging out in a bar. Well, I used to work in a bar long, long time ago. And I just stopped there to see the owner and just say hi to a few friends. And now she works in the bar. Now, the town that I live in is very small, Marshall, Missouri. For a lot of people, they think that there's nothing going on here. But if you have goals and plans, oh boy, you need more than 24 hours in one day to achieve all your goals. So I'm very happy with where I am and with what I do. So she asked me, and I just got hired for my head coaching position. And she's like, what you going to do for, the next year or the next years? I was like, well, I just got the job of my dream. I'm the head coach of the tennis team that I've played the most important years of my life. I was an assistant coach where I grew and I went through all these experiences. So I just got the job. So I'm not even thinking when I'm going to leave. I'm probably thinking him to stay for a very, very long time because this is something that I've always dreamed of. And she's like, oh, that's so bad. Oh my God, you're stuck in Marshall. And I looked at her. I was like, what? I'm not stuck in Marshall. I chose to be here. I had other job offers and I happily declined both of my other jobs offer, and I stick with this one right now. The jobs that I got offered, they were with more money, bigger state, probably bigger opportunities, etc., etc., etc. But I didn't listen to those numbers. I listened to my heart, and my heart told me to stay here. And I'm very, very happy, very pleased. So, sorry to go off track, but I told her, I said, no, I'm not stuck. I chose. She's like, and then she's trying to obviously slide in the conversation. And later on, I didn't get affected and I didn't get mad. I just found it funny. But I found it funny because she was trying so much to leave the town. She was trying to find another job that she will be in a bigger city because she comes from a culture and a town and a place that is kind of full with chaos and energy. So when she was telling that sentence, she didn't say it directly to me. I'm pretty sure she told it to herself, that if she would find a job, because there were no other jobs in the moment and she had to stay in this town, then she would feel like she's stuck. So today's topic, guys, is for one area of human nature. And that one is that people tend to give advices, and usually when they do is not because they care about you, but they usually try to say it because they think that's what is best for themselves. So observe it, see it, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Never take it as facts. Don't give advices. If somebody asks you, try to give opinions and just try to live a happy and fulfilling life with whatever action you want to take, whatever you think is best for you. So I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. I would appreciate all your feedbacks, comments, downloads, everything. It means a lot to me. Thank you for the support. And I will see you guys to the next video. Until the next video, please stay blessed.